leading us on this? Nope.
Yep. Welcome to Chi-Town Lowdown, Picks Against the Spread, Week 12. We are back with some more picks action. Before we get started here, go to Twitter, Chi-Town Lowdown. Give us a follow. Check out our posts. Check out our previous videos. We've been having some good picks here lately. All right, and we're gonna get into the records, so you'll see. But the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. Yeah. For all those people out there who don't like the content, you can't argue with the results. Okay.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Have fun losing money.
Idiot.
Last week, Luke and Tom, 12 for 14 on picks. They both had their locks hit.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Giving you 12 out of 14. My bad.
They did earn that bonus point. I was 10 for 14. My lock also hit, and Morgo was 9 for 14. So all well above 500. For the year, Luke's 98 for 163. Tom's at 94.
Hey, my lock hit. You didn't say that my lock hit.
Nope. Morgo's lock hit as well.
Thank
and that was the first week where all of our locks hit.
And that's a queen sweep.
You're looking for a 4-leg parlay this week. Check out these locks that we got coming to you. Morgo's total for the year is 83 out of 163. So, including our bonus points for locks, we're what?
It's just Morgo's face.
So what?
Hey, you got time, dude.
We're all above 5. We're all above 500 here.
Yeah.
What are they without the locks, Jesse?
Without the locks,
don't make him do that.
It just puts Jesse at the bottom instead of me.
Without the lock picks, so these are our true pick totals. Luke's at 94 for 163. Tom's at 89. Morgo's at 81. I'm at 79. So if you take out the bonus points, Morgo and I are just below 50%. But
that's why you did that.
Tom and Luke are on a little bit of a heater here. So tune in.
Yeah.
6 teams on bye this week, so we got 13 games coming. First game is going to be a Thursday night divisional matchup. Steelers traveling to the Browns. Browns are 3.5-point underdogs at home.
Yeah.
Luke?
Yeah, I'll start. We were just kind of chit-chatting about this one before we hit record. Obviously, everybody knows where I've been the last few weeks in relation to the Steelers. I'm super high on them. I still am very super high on them, especially with the Chiefs, and what happened in Buffalo last week. I think that the Chiefs in that division, they could have a tough schedule down the stretch. I don't know how many games they have left with the Broncos. Oh, well, 1 game left with the Broncos. I don't know if they've played the Chargers yet. But those are going to be tough games now. So
Broncos are good.
The door is kind of open for some of these other more elite teams in the AFC, whether that be Baltimore, whether that be Pittsburgh, Buffalo, obviously. The door could be open. So I'm still very high on the Steelers, but something's telling me to go with the Browns here as home dogs this week at plus 3.5. Jesse was just touching on them being in the game late last week and having an opportunity to, pull one off there against New Orleans. I was on New Orleans, obviously, so seeing it clearly then. I think I'm seeing it clearly now. Something's telling me to take.
You don't actually want to pick Cleveland.
I you know what I love? I kind of like, like non-tangible storylines. Like, it shouldn't matter necessarily. I mean, a guy missing, not playing, can affect the team. But it was announced this week that JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, has to retire due to a neck injury that he suffered earlier in the year. He has been amazing with them since he's been drafted.
Wow.
A really good off-ball linebacker, and just took one from Derrick Henry and he's done. Can't play anymore. And I think teams rally in those situations. So I think at home, I'm going to go with Cleveland here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on the opposite side. Pittsburgh is the better team. They're at the top of this division right now. That's right up there with the NFC North for one of the more competitive divisions in football right now. The Steelers coming off a big win against Baltimore. Cleveland beat Baltimore earlier this year. But I think that speaks more to kind of the deficiencies of Baltimore than it does to Cleveland's team. And I think, the last couple of years, this Steelers team has struggled a little bit. Obviously, they've found a way to still get a winning record and find their way into the playoffs, but haven't had much success. I think this year it's a little bit different for them. I think that they'll at least win that wild card game. And we'll see what happens in the divisional round. But I really like this team. I really like the way it's been constructed by Mike Tomlin and the GM. And I think Tomlin's got the edge. He's got these guys playing really, really well. So I'm going to go with them on the road in this divisional matchup on Thursday.
Keep in mind, you would mention wild card for the Steelers. They are that could be they're currently favored to win that division over Baltimore. So
yeah. But I still think Kansas City is the 1 seed personally. If not, I think the Bills.
You think the 1-2 has got to be Kansas City, Baltimore,
Kansas City or Buffalo, Kansas City or Buffalo.
Kansas City, Buffalo. I'd agree with that, but I do think that there's a possibility. Like, I don't think it's completely off the table, but yeah. Tom,
sure.
Morgan, what do you think for this one?
Yeah, so I'm going Steelers.
Whoa.
For a few reasons. Weather being a big factor in this game.
Tom, why didn't you lead with this? I need to know these things.
Windy.
I didn't hear the weather radar go off.
Yeah.
Over under 36.
Windy and rainy and coldish. There's a cold front coming in. And I think that favors the Steelers. They got a better run game. Jameson Winston's going to be trying to throw the ball in this wind, and the Steelers' defense is going to be, That's my reason. I think that's my main reason. I think Cleveland has been playing better these last few games. But yeah, I just got to pick the Steelers here.
What did Luke just do?
Who did I pick?
What?
Who did I pick?
Nah, you just made a noise on your mic.
Oh, I just adjusted my screen. I might have hit my speaker or something.
Crazy.
Who do you got, buddy?
I'm kind of looking at some of these bets here, and 79% of the money on the Steelers.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
I think so.
I kind of want to ride with Luke.
The smart money's on the Browns, obviously.
But I also think Luke's letting his ego pick this one. Like him picking it will mean that Cleveland wins.
Division game 3.5. That's reasonable, I would say. It's not a stupid pick.
I'm seeing you're talking about the Money Wargo DraftKings. I'm seeing 91% of total bets placed on Pittsburgh.
Uh-oh.
So it's even more.
On money line or spread?
That is overall. No, I'm sorry. Money line.
Oh, see, I'm talking spread.
You're looking at spread.
That's what we're doing on the Pig Show. So
does that make you feel more inclined to pick Cleveland here?
I'm going to pick Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, despite I think Luke's ego is going on Cleveland, I think they might keep it close here. And I've not been a Jameis believer, and I feel like that's hurt me. So I'm going to believe in old Jameis crazy legs.
Yeah, I got a feeling with my weather that I'm correct. My weather.
All right. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. I'm excited for that. Divisional matchups in that division are always fun to watch. So
yeah, gonna get Chubb out there.
Divisional matchups on Thursday night are like a gift. So
as long as it's not like the AFC South.
Yeah.
If there's a bet to pick for Winston, one interception, I'd take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next game, Detroit at Indianapolis, plus 7.5. So another home dog here. This one's interesting because two teams that have been very good against spread this year.
True.
Lions are 8-2. Colts are 8-3 against spread. I like Indianapolis in this spot at home. I know the Lions have been blowing everybody out, but this Colts team obviously knows how to stay in games till the end. I think that's kind of a testament to the coaching of Shane Steichen. I think he's a great coach. And he's doing a lot with the pieces that he has with a young quarterback, making some changes, bringing in Flacco, not quite seeing what he wanted to see out of Flacco, so going back to his young guy. And Richardson playing a lot better last week. This Lions team obviously is imposing their will on bad teams in particular. I think they put up 50 points 3 times this year now. They've won 3 games by a margin of like 32 or more points, which is just absolutely insane. But this Colts team is fighting for that last AFC spot that is currently held by the Denver Broncos. And I just think this is one that they see as a kind of as kind of a must win, to be honest. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull it off, but I like it being close enough for them to cover. So I'm going to go with them.
I get what you're saying, and I feel like you always pick the Colts and they always lose. So
they covered last week.
Did they? Okay. All right.
They're 8-3 against the spread. So,
but I feel like you pick them and they don't. I don't know. Every time I feel like I'm going to, but there's two times I'm thinking about they screwed you. So they've been bad. They haven't covered the spread against good teams, the Bills and the Minnesota Vikings. Pretty sure. So going with the Lions here.
Morgan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions.
I am with my bro Brennan.
Okay.
I'm going to go Indy. Indy still has a very real shot of getting into the playoffs in the AFC. I think that, despite being in the same division as the Texans, they don't really have any other competition in the division with Tennessee and Jacksonville right now. Those two teams are in shambles. So, they obviously their record against the spread this year has been noted. Jesse did a great job touching on that piece. So I'll take them with a larger spread at home.
And just to note here, some of the teams that they have covered against, the Texans earlier in the year, they did cover the Bengals, the Cardinals. I
would say those are not elite teams.
The Steelers. So I mean, they're you're right, Tom. They didn't cover against the Bills or the Vikings or the Packers earlier in the year, but I do see it.
I just see the Lions as the elitist of teams, and Bills beat them by 10.
Sure.
And that's where I kind of was going off of.
The Lions are good against the spread too.
Yes, they are.
But I see what you're saying, and I think that they have been in a lot of games. So I was wrong there.
I could see a regression. I mean, the Lions are probably tired from running it all over the field all day long against the Jaguars. So
it was a track meet.
It is in a dome. All right, next game, Kansas City at Carolina.
Jared Goff in a dome? Luke?
I'm switching. I'm just kidding.
Kansas City at Carolina, plus 11. Big dogs.
Wow.
This has changed in the last half an hour. I've got it at 10.5, not like that much longer than when I jumped on with you guys. So I get on this one quick. If you're wanting to bet the Chiefs this week, bet it now because this is going to keep going.
I am showing it as 10.5 now. It must have moved
Audible
since I put these in. So yeah, we'll go with 10.5.
Doesn't change my opinion. This is a bounce back game for the Chiefs. Obviously against a team that's just not even on the same planet as them with Carolina. I've already picked 2 home dogs to kick off the show, so I'm not going against KC coming off a loss to the Bills.
Are they playing at home, or were they playing at
Carolina? At Carolina.
Okay. I feel like I got to go Kansas City as well. I just don't feel right picking the Panthers ever. So, and I think Kansas City's been playing some tough ball, and I think it'll show how good they really are this week.
Okay.
I too am on the Chiefs.
All right.
Maybe get some snacks. I am starving.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like how Carolina's been playing.
I agree.
Yeah, but think of it this way. Let's say 31-20. Like, that doesn't feel like a blowout, but it's enough to cover this spread.
Yeah.
34-21.
Yeah.
I mean, my hesitancy is Carolina's really been leaning on the run game and Chuba Hubbard. And we know how stout this Kansas City defensive front is. I mean, I think they gave up like 20 rushing yards to James Cook last week on low teens carries.
They just they're so good
against and Chiefs against that defense. I think it's going to look like little boy ball out there. Yeah.
And Kansas City is a miracle 30-yard Josh Allen touchdown scramble away from being in that game against Buffalo.
That was fun to watch, though.
Yeah, that was cool. I think I'm gonna go with you guys on Kansas City. So I hope that one doesn't come back to bite me here. Next game, Minnesota at Chicago, +3.5. Another home dog.
I like Chicago this week. Despite how easy it would be to just be spiteful and just say, I'm just going to keep picking against the Bears as I've done the last 2 weeks. I do see this as an opportunity to play another close game. And hopefully this week, when it matters most in the crucial moments, they don't fold. I think Minnesota's been a little bit shaky as of late, especially offensively. They just don't seem to be clicking like they had been earlier in the year. Trying to find where they've been against the spread the last couple weeks. It just feels like they've been playing some close games that I wouldn't have necessarily thought that would have been super close. Game last week was 23-13 against Tennessee, covered in that one. Before that, 12-7 against Jacksonville. Obviously, Jacksonville covered there. And then they covered against Indy. But that game was close late as well. And that was with kind of an offense led by Joe Flacco that wasn't really clicking for Indy, even though we kind of thought that would be the case.
Isn't it crazy that Indy's still in the playoff hunt and they've had like Joe Flacco and then Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco, and it's just like
to not get sidetracked on that because it is crazy, Tom. You're right. Like, it's amazing to see a team that still has an opportunity despite not being able to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like Chicago this week. The defense is playing tough. Like, obviously did a great job against Green Bay last week, creating a turnover in the red zone and kind of limiting them throughout the game to not scoring a lot of points, even though they were kind of moving the ball quite a bit. Give me the Bears.
Hey, I'm with you on the Bears. Listen, it was nice to see us not just roll over and die against Green Bay, come out there and have a little fight, play well. So I'm a little worried about the Minnesota defense and how they're going to play us and how our offense responds. but I think our defense is going to keep us in this game. Sam Darnold is questionable with a foot injury, so we'll see how limited he is with that. Obviously, Aaron Jones has been hurt on and off all year, so I don't really know his status, but I think he did play last week. But Cam Akers, I think, had a little bit more work. So we'll have to look into that too. But like you said, their offense is a little bit shaky. As if we're the 5-0 start, they were rolling. Now the last second five games or whatever has been a little more shaky. So give me the Bears.
I hate to do it, but
have you ever picked against the Bears?
No, I haven't picked against the Bears this year yet, but I think I'm gonna do it this week. I unfortunately think that this Minnesota defense is going to be in Caleb Williams' lap all afternoon, and I don't think defensively that the way that they have been playing, that they're going to be able to keep this game within the spread total when the clock hits 0. So I'm going to take Minnesota.
Understandable.
I feel like if I was betting this game, I would try to get positive odds on both sides. So I'd try to bet Bears money line, and then Minnesota like minus 9.5 or something like that. Just kind of a little arbitrage there. I want to take Bears. Yeah, that's the DJ bet of the week. Parlay those two together.
Parlay them together.
I know that was the joke. That was the joke, dude. I don't know. I'll take the Bears at home. They showed enough positive momentum last week. I think there's a lot of good points where Brian Flores might kill Caleb Williams on the football field tomorrow. He himself, or indirectly, I suppose. But we might witness something terrible. But on the other hand, he was getting the ball out a lot quicker.
That's a great point to bring up, Borgo. That the game plan better be more of the same, because whether you want time or not, it's not going to be there. Like, he's going to be bringing all kinds of pressure. And if he's not bringing pressure, he's going to be doing enough to create a little bit of confusion and hesitation, where if Caleb is not, again, trusting his legs and just saying, hey, my read's not there, I'm going, it'll be problematic. So as long as they can do that, I think
Jenkins questionable to return as well.
The Bears just need to win out and beat the Lions twice, and we have a chance in the playoffs. So
that's all. That's all we need. But we're going to start here. We're going to start this week, and I'll take the Bears at home.
Yeah.
All right, Tampa Bay at New York Giants +6. Another home dog.
QB change alert. Tommy DeVito, right?
Yep.
Any weather alerts in this one?
I don't think so. Maybe colder. Maybe some cold. Let me look.
Well, it's
43.
I was confused by this quarterback change.
43.
Yeah, why didn't they go with the other guy?
Yeah, when I saw that they were going to be benching Daniel Jones, I was expecting to see, the Drew Lock news.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nope, we're actually going to start Tommy DeVito. Former Illinois product, might I say. University of Illinois product, that is, by the way.
Weather's fine, by the way.
This one, I'm a little bit torn on, because I've touched on the new coach bump. You can get a new quarterback bump too, and everybody's like, oh, all of a sudden we can play with a little bit of motivation and focus. Not that we're, the millions of dollars we're being paid is enough. We actually need, some reality television drama to occur within the organization for us to figure out how to play football.
Well, I think it comes down to also the guys, the team. Obviously, they didn't believe that Daniel Jones was the guy. I think everybody and whoever watched football knew that. Even when Daniel Jones was drafted, Giants fans were like, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
this guy. I hate to like say bad, like drag his name through the mud, but I watched him last week. He was not good.
I've not. I don't think I've picked the Bucks in a couple weeks, and I kind of miss pulling for Baker. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks here on the road, -6.
Yes, so am I. The Baker believer is back. He's getting his buddy Mike Evans back from injury.
Yeah.
The Giants are in the tank for Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes at this point. Or Cam Ward or Jalen Milroe. Pick, whoever they want, right? Teams that have 2 wins to this point in the year aren't obviously guys want to win games, players want to win games, but to me, starting Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock is putting them at a disadvantage. And the only way that makes sense for me is that they don't want to actually win this game without coming out and saying it, right?
But that's when teams win. So, yeah, Tampa Bay.
Side note on this real quick. The Jets fired their GM this week. How has this idiot from the Giants not been fired yet? After the showing on Hard Knocks and letting Saquon walk, not saying that Saquon would have salvaged the year for the Giants. He probably would have actually hurt them in terms of increasing their draft odds for this year because he might have been good enough to carry them for a couple of games and take them out of contention of potential first overall pick. But my God, get that guy out of there.
Bad.
Wargo?
I'm going to be on you. No, I'm just Giants are 3-7 against the spread. They're 2-8 as a team. The line, so we could have used this example earlier when we were talking about the Chiefs game, but it looks like at 5, or at least this was what PFF is saying. So it opened at 5 and it's now moved to 6, meaning that Vegas is now thinking that the Bucs are going to win by more than 6. So it's moving away from the Giants.
Thanks.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue on to that. I think they are trying to think here. Yeah. I guess that news came out.
I don't know.
You're right. But yeah, they're gonna lose by more. Tankathon.
If this line was 7, I think I would take Giants. I like their front, and I like how they're running the ball, and their QB bump. Whether Tommy DeVito or not, that kind of makes me want to take them as well. But on the other side, if you stop, the run game of the Bucs, you got Baker to mess with, and with Mike Evans back, there's a lot going against the Giants. So, yep, Bucs.
I'm going to go back and amend my Kansas City pick. I'm going to take Carolina.
Okay.
Just wasn't sitting right with me.
That was so random. You're just looking at it. You're like, just eating you.
It's really not going to sit right with you on Sunday.
I got to be aggressive now. I got to make up some ground in these pick totals.
Okay. That is not how you're going to come back in this. Picking spots where it's just like, I'm going to go against everybody, even when your better judgment is like, this is not the game to do it.
No, go ahead.
New England at Miami, -7.5.
See, this is an opportunity for you to get one back.
Yeah.
Is a New England team that's starting to believe in themselves a little bit, right? Drake May showing some potential here. Division game, kind of a bigger spread. This is an opportunity for you to get one back because I'm going Miami. So you can take New England for the points that I just gave. I'm going Miami. Tua 2+ Tua is I don't know where I was trying to just do something off the cuff there, and it just I don't know what it was.
You sounded like Tua there,
Tua 2+ Tua. Tua plus Tua. I don't know, but yeah, I like the way when they've got their guys healthy for Miami, that the offense clicks. It's fun to watch. So I'll take Miami.
I too am on Miami because the defensive front. The defensive front is actually getting after the quarterback and getting some sacks, which was really what their problems were at the beginning of the year. And New England's offensive line is one of the is in the bottom portion of the league in terms of how well they do at protecting the quarterback. Drake May does a good job scrambling and reducing negative plays, but I like Miami at home in this spot. I think their offense is high powered, and I think their defense is playing better. So give me Miami.
I'll go New England. Ramondre Stevenson, Drake May.
Don't say
with a little
Ramondre Stevenson
momentum.
like he's some sort of reason that they might win this game. That guy is an embarrassment. Talk about yards per carry.
Ramondre?
The franchise?
What?
Franchise.
When did Tua get hurt? What week?
3, I think.
Okay. So Dolphins Patriots played
Yeah,
Ramondre 3.8 yards per carry.
without
They
Tua.
run the ball every time with them.
That's
First
more
down,
emotional.
days.
And they covered.
It's more than Kareem Hunt.
All right. So without Tua, they won 15-10. I'm saying with Tua, they're going to win by 14. But I think this Miami team is if they don't make the playoffs, they're going to be a spoiler for someone because I think they're going to make a run. I think I might pick Miami for the rest of the season because I think a lot of people are still thinking like back to how bad they were.
The remaining schedule real quick.
Their schedule's pretty tough. It goes Patriots, Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, Browns, Jets.
Oh, that's not tough.
Say that one more time.
Patriots, Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, Browns, Jets.
Yeah, that's true. It's not that bad.
I feel like they could. I'm going to pick them every time. I think they have a chance here, and they're my sleeper team because I think a lot of people have already written them off.
I mean, for them, they're 2 games back of Denver. They're 2 games back of Denver, who holds that 7 seed in the AFC. I just don't know.
I don't think Denver's as good as people are saying.
And you got to think the other teams that are also going for that spot. The Colts, the Bengals have to win out.
Yeah.
The
Chargers.
The AFC is just.
No, the Chargers. Oh yeah, Chargers are in there, right?
The Chargers are in
Chargers are
6,
kind of above all of
6
that.
or 5.
Yeah, they're not quite in the same category. I think they're 7 and 8.
They've kind of got more of their shit together. They're the 5 seed.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Tennessee at Houston -8 points. Divisional matchup here. Let's see. Did they play already? This is the first meeting between these 2 teams.
I really want to go Titans. I'm going to go off script here. I've kind of been picking the favorites. I'm going to pick the Titans here. Houston, they just haven't been blowing people out, I feel like. They haven't been the Houston they were last year, and I know they've had injuries, and they do have Nico Collins back. And Joe Mixon's crazy. Oh, gosh. I'm talking myself out of that.
Keep going. Keep talking yourself out of it.
No, I want to go Titans here. I do. I want to make a little bit of a feeling pick here.
Titans are 1-9 against the spread. I'm going to go with Houston.
Shoot, it's a bad time to go off script there.
Yeah, I like Houston at home here with 8. I like Houston at home -27.
Okay.
Tennessee's not that bad.
I I kind of sound like a broken record because I say this every week. I'm like, I kind of like Tennessee. I'm kind of like Tom here.
I'd like to see on games where me and Wargo are on the same side and you and Tom are on the same side, how those have played out.
Probably
I'm
negatively
sure-
for us.
Well,
Yeah,
Tom's
I
gonna
mean,
be
it's
on a
gotta-
side. Tom's gonna be on a side by himself right now because I'm going with Houston as well.
Yeah, this is a stupid pick. This is my stupid pick of the week. But I'm
Houston, Tennessee will definitely cover in this game.
I don't know. I was looking at their past games. It's like they lost
Yeah,
by
their
10.
quarterbacks are Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, so not much to look at. I mean, Calvin Ridley's having a decent year.
I don't know if I can. I don't know, guys. I don't think
I think you can. Just hang on.
Tom, this is a great place to pick one up on the three of us. Come
Tom,
on.
I took Carolina over Kansas City. I mean, this isn't that bad.
If you get this one wrong, you'll beat Luke on another one. You guys are going to finish the same.
Sometimes you got to take a risk, and like you said, it's on a feel. Like my feel is that Carolina's been playing well.
All right. Yeah. But you just told me the QBs, and I'm like, yeah.
Both of those feelings
I
are wrong.
forgot. All right. I'm still on them.
Dallas at Washington -10.5.
I liked how – I don't want to go first. You go first.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll go first. I've been wanting to go first. I'm a sucker for big spreads. Give me Washington. Cowboys suck.
I think the Cowboys I think I may have said this last week too. They may very well be the worst team in the NFL. And it's really crazy how they've changed from one year to the other. I know Dak's hurt now, but even when Dak was healthy, they were not a good team. They have zero run game. It is crazy to watch them because they're always in prime time, I feel. We're always watching them just stink up the place. Although I liked how Cooper Rush played last week. I did. I think they moved the ball fairly well. And
He was also without Jake Ferguson, which that's probably pretty big for.
Yeah. Who are they playing? Sorry.
Commanders.
Washington.
The Commanders.
10.5.
Where's it at?
Washington.
Washington. Dang.
Give me the Cowboys.
What the fuck, dude?
I'm on Washington here. They're the better team. The only thing, Marshawn Lattimore is still not practicing, which,
Not practice.
I guess his hamstring. Yeah, he hasn't played for them yet because he has this hamstring injury.
Questionable.
So that concerns me a little bit with CeeDee Lamb, but defensively, they started off the season a little. They've really developed throughout the year, the way you would like to see a team that's playing together under first-year head coach develop. And obviously, with Dan Quinn being that head coach, he is a bright defensive mind. And it's all, held together by Bobby Wagner, one of the best interior linebackers that the league has ever seen. And then you got Jaden Daniels on the other side of the ball, who he's just playing really good football. Whether, you can attribute that to his own abilities and his skills or Cliff Kingsbury and the game plan that he's been able to put together for this young offense, or maybe, a combination of the two. I think Washington's the better team. And, divisional game, so a little bit of hesitancy with this larger spread, but to Tom's points, I just don't think Dallas is a good football team this year. They also may be in the tank for Shedeur sweepstakes.
Yep.
That could be Shedeur and Dion.
Right.
People are starting to whisper, which just seems like.
I heard that Dion is like, no way I'm coming to the NFL. That's what I heard.
Yeah, until he says, I am coming. So yeah, I'm going with Washington.
I don't know what the heck I'm thinking. Picking the Dallas Cowboys. They're absolutely trash. So
They'll probably cover.
I'm switching. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
All right. Now we're
I mean,
done.
it's a big spread. It's a big
I'm
spread.
looking at the Cowboys injury report currently, and it is long. It's long. Zach Martin's a DMP today. Tyler Smith, which is one of their tackles, DMP in practice. Obviously, CD's dinged up. He's kind of playing through it, but he's a limited participant today with a back and a foot. Ferguson, DMP. Everything is, obviously given their performance to this point in the year is just saying, do not pick Dallas here. But I'm going to. They were down by 10 points going into the fourth quarter against Houston. And then Houston scored 14 in the fourth. And obviously that game looks like it's a blowout. It wasn't a complete blowout going into the fourth quarter, though. And this is a division game. It's cliche. We say it all the time. But teams just seem to, step their game up a bit in division. And I'm not sure that Washington is everything that they were looking like they were early in the year. Since
they had a bye last week, though, right?
They did have a bye last week, I'm pretty sure. But since that Bears game, where that could have gone either way, right? They beat the Giants by 5 points. They lose to Pittsburgh and lose to Philly. Now, those are good teams. Not the Bears, obviously, and not the Giants. But, I'm going to take Dallas here to cover.
I didn't have the balls.
Denver at Las Vegas, +6. Home dog.
This seems like an easy one, right?
Yep, Denver.
Divisional game.
I know. And like I said earlier, I don't think Denver is as good as people are really like.
You like the Raiders, Wargo?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were just pumping the tires of Denver.
Yeah, but Raiders have their number, and it's in Las Vegas. They've got their number. Look at the receipts. 6 points at home.
Why do you say that? Why do you say they have their number?
Even when Denver has very good, very competent teams, for whatever reason, Vegas seems to beat them.
Are you just going off feel right now?
No, this is a documented fact. My friend Sam, my groomsman, his roommate in college was a Raiders fan, and it was like I said, even when the Broncos were good, Raiders were always
lost to the Broncos earlier this year, 34-18.
Yeah, but they in the last 5 they've won 4 out of the last 5 against Denver. Denver obviously won earlier in the year, but
see, that's facts.
32-23, 22-16, 17-16, 27-14, all wins for the Raiders.
Let's paint a picture here. Max Crosby ripping the face off of Bo Nix.
That'd be sick.
The Raiders have no run game, and that's where it's like against this defense.
You can't run against the Broncos anyways.
Right. And then you got to make them throw. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Lulu's got the same color as the Raiders, so it's a sign.
Lulu. Oh.
Look at her just look into your eyes.
She's obsessed with us.
I am on Denver here. Denver divisional game. They have that 7 spot in the AFC right now. I think they want to retain whatever lead they have. We talked about some of these other teams that are going to be fighting for that at the end of this season. If they want to make their way into the playoffs, this is a game that they need to win.
Yeah.
6 points, I guess being a divisional game, it could be closer than that, but with the way Denver's been playing, I don't see it. So I'm going to go with Denver.
Tom, we know you hate Bo Nix.
Yeah, I do want to go Denver still.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
they're playing well. It's just I don't know if I'm sold on them. I say they're not as good as people say they are. I think they're good. I just don't know if they do make it into the playoffs, how far they're actually going to go.
Well,
But
start
I'm
the
gonna take
year with a loss to the Raiders.
San Fran at Green Bay, -1.5.
Is San Francisco bad? Right?
Seems to be.
I mean, I picked Seattle last week, obviously. I pick a lot of the right teams. Just a heads up to everybody that's listening or watching on YouTube right now. So looking at this one, I'm a little bit perplexed. Green Bay struggled against Chicago last week. Why was that? We suck. We almost won. Now, I think if the game was being played in San Francisco, this line probably just goes the other way. I think whoever the home team is looking at being the favorite in this case. It really feels like San Francisco needs to figure it out. Like the NFC is, they still have, they're not so far out of it that, they're still very much in the playoff hunt, especially in their division where it's just been kind of back and forth. Everybody's beating everybody all year long, and there's not anyone pulling away. I'm going to go San Fran here just in hopes that Green Bay loses and, it helps the Bears kind of keep their season interesting and engageable for the remainder of the year so that this just doesn't get out of hand and we have nothing we're playing for.
Okay.
It's hard to pick against
weather, Tom. Any weather here?
No.
36 degrees. That's pretty chilly. Colder than the New York game that you said was cold.
So
yeah, it's not there yet. The cold front.
The 8, 9, and 10 spots in the NFC playoff picture right now are held by NFC West teams: the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers.
That was supposed to be the NFC North this year.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, I mean, 3 NFC North teams are currently in the playoffs if the season were to end today. But
who's not in?
I like Green Bay at home here. The Niners don't seem to be the same team that they had been the last few years, defensively especially, and offensively maybe. Everybody's running this different version of the Kyle Shanahan offense at this point, or a lot of teams are. And maybe some defenses, it isn't as foreign to them at this point. They kind of know what to expect. Obviously, Matt LaFleur is very familiar with it. So I like Green Bay being the home team here, and also I just like them. I like Green Bay.
I like the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey's going to have a good day. I know it.
That's wishful thinking.
It's a fact in my mind.
As I'm playing Tom this week in fantasy football, with literally no running backs to start, I'm really hoping that Christian McCaffrey does not have a good day. I hope the Niners cover, but I hope it's not because of Christian McCaffrey.
Well, Joe Mixon had his week last week, so I don't think he's going to go off like he did.
Right. Sure.
So McCaffrey, I think, is going to go off.
Go.
Yeah, I don't like the California team playing in Green Bay. Packers.
45, by the way. You're wrong. Cloudy and 45.
On PFF right now, it says 36 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right now?
I don't know. Ask PFF. I think on Sunday the 24th. Are you looking in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
No. I'm looking at Nova Scotia.
Why would you look there?
Yeah, I looked at Green Bay.
45 in Green Bay on the 24th of November. That's just not true.
Don't question
Is Brock Purdy can't be hurt. Otherwise, this line wouldn't be this close.
I'm going Green Bay.
They must think he's going to play.
Yeah, I don't know, Luke.
I'll look into that. What's the next game?
Arizona at Seattle, +1. Big one here. Arizona, 3 seed in the NFC at 6-4, is divisional matchup. It's in Seattle. 1 point underdogs at home to a hot Arizona team coming off a bye.
For some reason, my body is telling me Seattle, and I know they had a big win last week, and sometimes that can
blow your load game.
Yes, but it also could kickstart their season for a playoff run. And Arizona, Kyler Murray's been playing a little bit too much COD over the bye.
3-0 since COD came out.
I know. It's not really even a
2-0 in the division.
Seattle.
I'm going with Arizona. Coming off a bye, they got some confidence. They're playing really well. I think they feel like they've got the pieces, and Jonathan Gannon, another great coach, coming out of the Sirianni tree, huh? Him and Shane Steichen. I think those two guys were a lot of the reason the Eagles won that Super Bowl. Not so much Sirianni, but I just like Arizona. I like the way they've been playing. I think they run the ball really well. They got a great balance on offense. They're not asking Kyler to do too much, and the defense is playing a lot better as well. Budda Baker is a great player, one of the most fun players to watch. So check him out. Give me Arizona.
Tom, you said you're on Seattle?
Yeah. At home. I think that one might be a little bit rainy as well.
I do. I like what Jesse said about Budda Baker. He's a missile. Talk about just not caring about your own health and well-being, or like your own safety. Like, he is just everywhere. Obviously,
showers that day.
Okay. I feel like this division is just like whoever was up most recently, they're going to be the ones who are at a disadvantage in the current game. Now, with that being said, Seattle's at home. That's a real home field advantage. But Arizona's had a week to prep, right? So, yeah, this should be a good game. I look forward to having this up on the maybe the duo box in the afternoon slot.
The bet percentage is 50-50 on PFF for the percentage of bets on the spread. 48-52 on the money line, or on the percent of money. Sorry. Money line does tell a little bit of a different story. So the 1 point versus the money line kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I'm going to go 3-0 since COD came out, but he's had a week off to play COD. So he might be deep in a hole.
Yeah. He might have bags under his eyes.
I'm torn on this one. I'm going to go Seattle at home. Fuck it. I'm with Tom. Wargrill.
The against the spread numbers kind of make me want to ride with the Cardinals. I feel like we've made a lot of the points already, and it is kind of a pick 'em game more or less. So Cardinals are 7-3 against the spread. Seahawks are 3-6-1 against the spread. I want to take the Seahawks at home, so I'm going to take the Seahawks at home.
All right.
Might have been an easy one for Jesse there. We'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Sunday night football. Philly at the LA Rams. Home underdogs, 2.5 points.
This should be a good game too.
Philly on a 6-game win streak. We've talked ad nauseum about the NFC West, in which the Los Angeles Rams are a part of. Obviously, with Arizona and Seattle playing, one of those teams is going to be knocked down a rung on the ladder. the Rams have an opportunity to gain some ground on somebody one way or another. But Philly's playing well, and they're running the ball well. And if the Rams have any deficiencies, it's at the offensive line, and they got a young defense that's playing better, but defensively they're not quite as strong without Aaron Donald, who used to be there. I like Philly in this game, and I'm going to take them.
The Rams, I just always seem to want to pick them. The receiving core and Matt Stafford is just a dog. Having said that, they are just kind of inconsistent.
Which team is the highest graded PFF coverage team?
Is the Rams.
Over under is 49 though.
The Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles. I meant, the Eagles. Yeah, I'm going Eagles. So
Jesse and Tom are on the Eagles. Wergo.
Gosh, these are some great games, boys.
I know.
Some good ones.
I know.
This is a toughie. Gosh.
Put it out.
It's a tough game.
It is.
It's a tough game. There's no easy answers out here. Like Jesse always says, we have to pick all of them. This is one I probably would not bet. I think it's a long road trip, man. The Philadelphia Eagles going all the way to the West Coast.
Fair point.
They're coming off a bye, or are they not? Philly? They play last week?
Oh,
I
no.
don't have any of their players on fantasy.
I think they did play last week.
Yeah, they did. Saquon was out there.
Washington, Philly was last week.
Maybe they played Thursday? No.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's probably what.
That was a mini bye for them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Into
I like the Rams. This line kind of doesn't make sense to me. I mean, home dog, but maybe I feel like it should be a little bit more in favor of Philly. And the fact that it's not, Vegas knows something that we don't. Nakua, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp,
Kyron.
home, long road trip. Give me the Rams.
81% of the money on the spread on the Eagles.
Okay.
Why does Vegas have big buildings and shiny lights?
You said Rams, Luke?
Yep.
65% of the bets.
And I'm picking with Luke.
Percent of the money. Wow.
Or Luke's picking with me, rather.
All right. Another great game Monday night. Baltimore at the Chargers.
I love a good Monday night
Cruising
game.
right now.
+2, +2.5 as well.
Harbaugh
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure
the Super Bowl lights went out. Nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Oh,
Thought
yeah.
something was going to drop out of the rafters with
Chargers
a
are
baseball
good.
bat.
What was it? Niners, Ravens that year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was Flacco. That was
Flacco
the
and
year.
Kaepernick.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. We've come so far.
sports are fun.
Yeah,
Rich
I'm
history.
looking forward to this game. It should be a good one. I mean, not a surprise, but kind of a surprise. Like two teams with similar philosophies. Like, you know, they both want to run the ball, control the game there, and despite having great quarterbacks, not asking them to carry the entire load, right? So, and it's no coincidence that these two probably have similar philosophies on the game. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I really like Justin Herbert. I mean, I was getting tired of Collinsworth kind of glazing him last week. Because it's like, dude, let me glaze him myself. Like, I don't need you to make me glaze him. Okay, so that was kind of like enough. But good news is we get to watch him do it again this Monday.
But not with Collinsworth. It's Buck and Aikman.
Oh, it's Buck and Aikman on Monday nights. Got him dumb.
Or you can watch the Manning cast.
Yeah. Speaking of alternate casts, Amazon Thursday nights they do an advanced stat cast with like a bird's eye view, non-traditional view of the game. I really like it. I've been watching it like the last 3 weeks. Check it out if you haven't seen it before. I'm gonna go Chargers.
Is it like an additional thing that you select within the viewing of Amazon? Like you can.
Yeah, it's just like when you go to turn the game on, there should be like a little box that pops up where you can watch it in like Spanish broadcast or the additional third broadcast is the one.
Okay. Nice. You picked the Chargers?
I'm on the Chargers. Yeah. I think that teams that are physical up front, which the Chargers kind of are, especially on the offensive line, obviously they've been running the ball great, but they've also got Bosa, and I think I don't know if Khalil's still out, but regardless, that defense has been very, very good this year. And I've always stuck to my guns when it comes to Henry is for poor defenses, he's a serious problem. For good defenses, he's very easy to eliminate from the game. And then your team can become one-dimensional. So I'm going to go with the Chargers here.
It's been a lot.
Go ahead.
It's been a lot of talk of Lamar Jackson shrinking in big games lately, especially after last week in the game against Pittsburgh. We know his history in the playoffs. This is a big game, I got to believe he is hearing that chatter, and I'm not sure what it is about that, but it does seem like when the games are a little more important that we don't see as much of the MVP Lamar Jackson as we're used to. And this is a big game. And I'm going to go with that narrative, and I'm going to go with the Chargers here. Seeing how they responded to the Bengals coming back in primetime last week, they could have easily given up and said, they've got all the momentum. We're gonna, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are gonna score and put this game away. Well, that's obviously not how it played out. It'll be a great game. The Harbaughs are excellent football coaches, but I like the Chargers at home against a Baltimore team that's probably a little banged up after that Steelers game. So I'm going to go with them.
Not that it makes it better, but one thing that comes to mind when you point that out about Lamar, Jesse, is like there's certain guys that it's like that like kind of shrink. Like you said, I think you'd use the word kind of like shrink and shy away from like those bigger games. For Lamar, it's almost like it's more so him just maybe trying to do too much sometimes in those big games, as opposed to just like playing his game that is like so unique to just him. And I don't really know what that is, but I do think that like, especially in the playoffs last year, because I think the Ravens made it to the AFC Championship game last year, right?
They lost to the Chiefs. They were the one seed. They lost to the Chiefs at home.
And Lamar just throughout the playoffs he just seemed so engaged and so like hyper focused and wanting to win. And it doesn't, like I said, like there are some players, it's just like it seems like they don't want the spotlight or they don't want to be in that situation. For him, it's almost that he needs to like take a step back and like chill out. Just thought that I'd mention that because I really like Lamar, and I think he's a great player and a great competitor, and I'd like to see him do well. And Like he's obviously won a couple MVPs now, I think, and at least one. I can't remember if it's 2 now, but
Yeah.
What else?
I kind of want to go with Baltimore here. I feel like it was a bit of a blow your load game on the part of the Chargers'
Good
great
point.
win last week.
good point. Didn't think about the blow your load game.
Yep. Yep. That was a lot. There was a lot involved in that mentally, you know.
True.
And yeah, it's time. It's time that Lamar started playing his game again, and I think that he has heard a little bit of that chatter. And when he's been successful, it's when he's played his own game. So I think we might see hopefully a reversion back to that side of him. So yeah, I'll go with Baltimore here. Give me some points, Zay Flowers.
I hear you guys' points. Lamar makes me a little nervous, but I think this is a bounce back game for them. And the Chargers D, I can't put a finger on it, but they really haven't gone against an elite quarterback other than Pat Mahomes, and they lost. And they go against Joe Burrow, and he put up a lot of points. So it just makes me a little nervous to pick the Chargers, as I have been picking the Chargers a lot this year. But like I said, I think this is a bounce back game for the Ravens, and they take this one.
Yep.
There you have it. That's week 12 picks against spread. Let's get our lock picks in.
Oh,
What do you guys like? What do you guys like?
Oh no, I'm going last.
What do I like in terms of locks?
Tom, what did you have on the Broncos Raiders? Were you on the Broncos?
Yeah. No.
I might stick with Detroit.
Detroit?
Yep, I'm going to stick with Detroit. Yeah.
Okay. That's probably smart. I mean, they score 100 points a fucking game, so.
It is crazy.
Who do I like?
I don't really find any that I'm loving here.
Yeah. Me neither. These are, like we said, these are some good games this week.
There are some.
A lot of home
Vegas,
dogs.
Vegas
I'm
is
gonna
starting
go-
to dial it in.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay -6.
Last time, I'm pretty sure we all picked against the Giants. I'm pretty sure they covered. Who was that?
So naturally, I'd lock that in.
I am gonna go.
Green Bay.
I was thinking it,
Ah,
but I'm gonna go opposite of you, and I'm gonna go with Indy.
Ooh.
Indy.
why would you do that? We just all hit our locks last week.
I want to go Pitt Cleveland,
I like
but
I just got a feeling. I just got a feeling that that's gonna be a close game.
if Pitt and Cleveland was 2.5, I would take it. I just feel like Steelers are always.
Loser of that game gets tattoo. If Indy covers, then Wargo's got to get a Colts tattoo. And
I just ruined the 4-leg parlay, by the way, as well.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. We can't go 4 for 4 now.
Give me Seattle.
Tom's on Seattle.
12th man.
Tom's the 13th man.
So,
Yeah,
All right.
well, that's locks. Best we can do is 3 for 4 this week, but we got a little drama, little friendly.
Wargo's lock
Competition?
history is not great, so I got that working for me.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
But yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe, and definitely come back and see us next week for Bears recap, Week 13 picks against the spread.
ooh,
And,
comment. What are we commenting? Comment your lock.
Yeah, give us your locks.
Yeah.
in the
Check,
comments.
hey,
What
check
game are
out
you?
the Wedge page? All right, we post the videos there. We're gonna post our locks. Give us your best bets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
We'll critique them.
we want to ride
Might be in agreement with them.
We should
next
really do
week.
this.
Next week, Thanksgiving. Last year we did a Thanksgiving Day Chi-Town Lowdown, maybe we'll do that again.
Yeah.
Be
That's
on the
crazy.
lookout for that.
I'm down.
Very nice.
Bear
Fair
down.
enough.